Okay, so we're doing another viewer
tattoo?
submission feature today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Says full back tattoo / arm, and this is from Madison. Says, hey Remy and Lady Remy, thank you. My boyfriend's been a viewer for a while, and we wanted to submit his recent work. Here is his full back piece. Started in August and just finished about a week ago. And his arm he has been working on for about a year. We always look forward to watching your new episodes. As much as he liked you and Kevin, we love the new duo even more. I appreciate that very much. P.S. All work done by SWAE 818 at the Black Sheep Tattoo.
I will make a comment on that before we get to the tattoo. I think most of the people who enjoyed that dynamic, that were that annoyed that it changed, have either fucked off or learned to like it by now.
Right.
In either case, that's fine. I did think that some of the early feedback we got for the change was pretty pathetic.
It was a little mean.
And
a little mean-spirited.
I realized that there's a certain segment of my YouTube subscribers that are very hateful and very miserable creatures out there, and there's probably a good deal of those people watching right now. So I'd like to take the moment to let those folks know I don't really care if you watch or not, so feel free to go. Now, anyway, before we go too nuts, let's have a look at this.
I just got really excited about what you just flipped past.
Well, let's have a look at this deer here. This guy's got enough work that we're going to do the whole episode feature on him.
I like the deer.
So, I like the deer too. I wish that the horns continued into the
armpit a little
like,
more?
There's no real good reason why they didn't, because you could have kept them on that same curve, right? Maybe they're not done yet, but like I just don't understand why you don't build that out into the inner bicep there, realistically. I mean, it's all set up to go, and it wouldn't take much time.
Right. I think it could look interesting for sure.
Or this could be that they're just trying to avoid that tender spot. But I will tell you, the lead up to the armpit is more painful than the armpit itself. Once you get into the armpit, it's pretty meaty in there, and it can take the beating.
I believe
it's
it.
Thick. Those tissuey, thin spots leading up are pretty sharp and
yep, I don't like that spot at all.
A little unpleasant, and same way on the chest leading to the armpit. That skin is thin too, but once you actually get into the meat of the armpit, it's pretty safe. So, and I've had my armpits probably tattooed more than anyone who's ever lived. I've had the left one done 11 times and the right one done 10 times.
So many times.
So
I always forget.
I have enough experience with my armpits that I feel like I can be an adequate judge of basically what you're going to feel, having done multiple sessions of lining, color packing, and solid black in there, and then color over black and white over black and pretty well everything you can imagine.
I miss the moon.
That's not coming back.
Back to
I've got other moons
back
now.
to the deer. I think there's a really good the contrast in this one is great.
Yeah,
we got lots of good light and darks, and now we're gonna flip to the next one, and I get really excited because it's from The Last Unicorn.
Is it?
Is it not?
I thought it was Star Wars.
No, this is the Red Bull.
Is this not the Klingon or whatever the hell his name is from Star Wars? What the hell was his name?
No.
You don't remember the guy?
I do, but this is the Red Bull from The Last Unicorn. This is the guy who played.
It looks like it could be a Klingon to me.
The guy who played Hellboy, right? What's his name?
Ron Perlman?
This is Ron Perlman as the devil, is it not?
I have no idea.
It's
looks
the
like
Last Unicorn. He's the Red Bull.
Star Trek. Did I say Star Wars?
Yeah.
I meant to say Star Trek.
This is not a Klingon. This is the Red Bull.
I'm thinking it's a Klingon.
He.
The hell was his name?
An amazing role.
Worf?
Worf? Yeah.
Was it Worf?
I think it's Worf.
Anyway, nice Klingon.
It's not a Klingon.
I like all
Red
the heavy
Bull.
black here. Remember how like heavy black can really be a good background. Remember we were talking about that Apprentice leg we seen recently, and you were like, you could do black round, and I was like, the imagery has to be of a certain size to pull that.
Legend, you bought me this movie with this character in it. We've watched this.
I don't know about that. I think this is a Klingon.
It's not a Klingon.
Anyway, yeah, black round I think only really works well if the foreground is of a certain size, and I really like the movement that's been built into the background here too.
I do too.
So let's see what else is on offer here. I mean, it seems like, yeah, he's had the same artist for all of this, and you can see the style really woven in, and it does marry well. The only thing that I would say that I don't love is I think that those angels at the top need more development.
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually think that this whole piece could use a little bit more. I think it's
I like the fabric folds and the simple shading.
I like the fabric folds, but I think it's just a smidge flat.
Well, this is a little bit like what Lee does, but it's not quite as black as it could be in places.
I think that's maybe the issue there. I don't know.
It would make it more striking if all the dark was just made a little bit darker. But like those angels at the top really kind of just got forgotten about in this, I think. Like they're very, very soft. They don't have any black in them, and I understand that they were supposed to be light, but I feel like if you just darkened all the places there are darks, it would be more contrasted and they would be more incorporated in the rest of this. With that said, like, I think there's some room for some extra details.
But yeah, I think so too. Like you could put like some I don't know, texture on the fabric, or
less can be more. I just think this is maybe just a little too little.
Yeah,
like there's just a little more.
I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's missing some dark spots in some places.
Also, obviously, I would build out the rest of the hall she's standing behind or in front of.
The concept though. I like the arch on the back. You had a cathedral arch on your back at one point. I like that look.
Not too long ago.
And I like the woman as like a central focal point. I think you could go maybe a little farther onto your sides, or even meld this into your side
Build
pieces.
out the hall around the woman and underneath of it. But like they've left it very open to do that. There's like no hard lines anywhere.
Well, I think he's probably gonna get something on his stomach, and then hopefully they'll build it out so they connect in some way. But
yeah, probably.
Right. Well,
I like the back of this sleeve with the candles and.
I do too. Oh, the candle on that like elbow area
cool
looks
shape
wicked.
to it.
Yeah.
And then this other sleeve looks like, yeah, it needs a cover up.
Yeah,
I won't spend too much time on that, but
maybe more of a Japanese style sleeve. I like what you've got going on.
It's
not
your other comparable to the rest of the work that's been done here. So let's see if we get a picture of that.
No.
Well, for now we got
nice like Grim Reaper up there, I'd say.
Yeah, skeleton of some kind with a hood.
A cloak. Death.
Could be a death-like figure.
Yeah.
I like the candles a lot. They're really cool.
Too. I really like the candles.
A good wispy, the little bit of negative around the candle is a really nice trick to create that glow effect. Yeah, no, this is really solid. The nice thing about this stuff is like it looks like it would be difficult to do, but like once you know how to do this, it takes like no time.
Oh, I know. I've watched Lee like do something like this in like a ridiculously short amount of time.
You could have done this sleeve in a session.
He's just like shh, 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 like, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, this sleeve is doable in a session for someone who knows what they're up to with it. So, yeah, get some. What is this, Wolfman?
Kind of looks like I don't know this character as well as I know the other characters, so
looks like a Wolfman of some kind.
He's super cool looking.
Some kind of horror sleeve. How does that marry into the? How does that marry into the Klingon on the bottom? Is what I want to know. Star Trek horror sleeve.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out what character this is.
It looks like a Wolfman to me.
I don't know.
Like this.
The first one was really recognizable to me because my name Blix that I use for my tattooing is a character from that movie. It's a goblin.
I don't know about that.
But yeah, you do know about that.
I think it's very open shot Star Trek, but I don't understand how it belongs in this.
This is why you guys watch this. You like to watch me and Remy ping pong.
Well, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think that, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. I like how connected everything is. I do think, I'm sure this sleeve isn't done here with this Reaper at the bottom. I don't know why you do two Reapers, though.
Yeah, there's two, like, death faces.
Yeah, and then, like, I don't really like the little heart in the glow there.
Sacred heart?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. It's just too small. Because everything else is so large that this just kind of looks flimsy and tiny in comparison. And I like when the imagery is all of the same kind of size in these sorts of sleeves. And I think when you do these little small ones like this, it just kind of, it looks out of perspective. Like it doesn't really belong in this sleeve. And another sleeve, this would have been an okay play, but it just doesn't really work here, in my opinion. Side note here, I keep seeing little sneak peeks of his nipple throughout here, and that fucking thing has to go. We didn't get a picture of his front.
Yeah, we didn't get the chest piece.
And we didn't get the other arm either.
And the rest of your tattoos look really good.
Yeah, have this guy blast black over your nipple. He can pack black.
I think he should pack black over your other arm. I don't know if you're attached to it, but I think you could do so much more to fit what you've got going on the rest of your body if you black out that other arm partially.
It looks like it would be pretty much full blackout. But the nice thing is, because everything else is really big and bold and black, a blackout isn't going to look out of place here.
That's what I was thinking,
like, it will look really attached to everything.
Unless you're really, really attached to those tattoos that are already there, which, fine, be happy with them. But I just think that, like, you could make your whole bodysuit more cohesive by doing a blackout sleeve on that side.
I think that comes into this at some point, whether he knows now or not. I think that's a logical direction, especially if he's not put off by my look, the Remy Reacts.
Oh, I've always... Even before I knew Remy, I was showing him black sleeves forever, being like, look at this, look at this.
Anyway, I could very easily see that coming into this at some point, because he's already a fan of the hard black stuff anyway. So, and then later on, if you want to, you could make some new stuff over top of it. As we've already proven many, many times on here, this is no longer subject to debate. I'm not engaging with debates about this anymore. It is doable if you want, especially if you're just doing one sleeve. Like, if I think about like the full body suit that I've been doing over black, and it's like, that's been doable. If I only had one arm to work with, the level that I could get that fucking thing to very easily, you know what I mean? Like, this only took 10 sessions to complete. I've done 14 on it because I've made some like alterations to it. But, like, if I thought I have one arm that I don't like, that's it. You know how fucking easy that is to get my mind around? Just fixing one arm? Like, I'm fucking working on an entire body. This doesn't look that hard to deal with for me. You do this, you black that out, give it a few months if you want. You can do it in 3 weeks, and then come back in and you can build some fucking... more cathedral or more angels or another horror sleeve.
You want on there.
It's not fucking hard to wrap your mind around when you've seen what I've been able to do. So to me, it's a no-brainer that sleeve should get blacked out and use some opaques and white and black on black and build some new stuff.
And I like what I see of your tattoos here. That's just, for me, the only one that
this stuff happened before he was set.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
And now he's got his head on and he's got his life going in the right direction.
He knows what style he likes. He can afford to do the bigger pieces.
Yeah. It's just going to now be about finding a tattooer that doesn't have his head up his ass that will entertain the idea of working on black, because it's not hard to do, really. We've had apprentices at the shop do it, so it is what it is. Ironically, the work that has been done here already is probably harder to do than what he'd be looking at to cover that other sleeve up. So that's my recommendation. Otherwise, I like everything else that's going on here. I'm not normally a huge fan of black and gray, but I like high contrast black and gray a lot.
Me too.
It's that wispy kind of gray tone, monotone stuff that I'm not a fan of. So
I like high contrast black and gray.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, and this stuff holds up better as time goes on too, because you're incorporating more negative space and less of these soft shades. The soft shades are the ones that come out the most over time. So anyway, it's a pretty cool bodysuit he's working on. I'd like to see more.